Colors alike got the prettiest side for everyone to enjoy. Standing up close by the Christmas tree, glimmering light, I am right where I wanna be. I will be home for a couple of days, wander around with you. You and me in the cold, thought it'd never be true. Wherever I go, I got you. Oh, I have stopped running, there is no way trying. You better loosen your belt. Drinking hot wine by the fire, don't care of anything else. It's Christmas, and some kind of love, my friend. I pray it will never end. Do you like to be here too? It's Christmas, and outside snow's glistening. It's just you and me tonight. I'll spend all this Christmas with you.
Hello. So the most exciting news of the week is that I have a pattern going live. It will be live when this video goes up, and it is the Cargill Junior. I cannot find my sample anywhere. It's in my wardrobe and it's a small thing, so I can't find it. But I'm wearing my Cargill adult size version, which I definitely can find. And this is a pattern which I released at the end of September, and as soon as the test started, I had a few testers messaging and saying I need a children's size, like I want to make my kid a matching version. So the ball started getting rolling on that. I have mentioned a few times on the podcast, I really struggled with the grading for children's sizes. I think I just couldn't like wrap my head around some of the numbers. So I worked with also Rebecca, a different Rebecca, who is a grader, and she graded the Cargill kids size for me, and the test is done. There are little versions popping up all over on Instagram, and the pattern is now live on Ravelry. So it's been really fun. It was actually a really enjoyable test knit. I think a lot of the issues with this pattern, like not issues, but a lot of like the wording and the explanations were ironed out with the first tester of the adult size. So the process was very, very similar. The only sort of thing that came up in testing was the lengths of different things, and my big learning is that children might be, which I guess I knew, is that children vary massively in height. So it's been interesting with the pattern, and so what I've decided to do is keep the standard sizing but put some really express information into the pattern about how to lengthen things like the yoke, the sleeves and the body, in case you happen to be knitting for a tall child, because apparently there are quite a lot of tall children out there. So the pattern is live. I'll put a link down below in case you want to go have a look at it, and you want to save it, or you want to start casting one on. There are also some really, really cute versions over on Instagram, so I don't know if I can put the Instagram hashtag there, but I'll see if I can. We'll give that a go. A few comments on the pattern. It goes from 12 months up to 10 years with like an 18-month option. So like 12 months, 18 months, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 years. It's quite a big size range. And that upper size range runs straight into the adult sizes. So the whole gap is basically from like 12 months all the way up, is every size is covered. It is knit the same gauge as the adult size, which is DK weight gauge, but almost every sample, I don't think there's a single sample with mohair. I think all the samples used DK weight or like 2 strands of fingering held double. It's a pretty good scrap buster for a couple of like skeins of yarn, and yeah, I think that's everything I've got to say about the pattern itself. The next thing is the incredible pattern photos were taken by Casey of the Young Folk Knits podcast. When I started the test, I didn't think, it was kind of in the back of my mind that I don't have a child to model this on, and I think something I really love in pattern pictures, and of all the patterns I've released, is like showing them on a person. And so I messaged, once the test was started, I messaged Casey and said, listen, is there any chance you would be willing to take some pattern pictures for me? And she said, yes, of course, I'd love to. And then she got really sick with COVID, and I just thought I'll leave it. Like, there's no rush to get the pattern out. I'll just wait and see how she's feeling, and I won't like follow up with her about it. And then a week ago, she sent me the most incredible photos of her beautiful little girl modelling her Cargill. So I'll pop the pictures on screen and you can see them. They're so artistic and beautiful, and I know that Casey doesn't post like her kids' faces on social media, and she was like, I hope that's okay. And I said, of course, that's completely, I get that. I am pretty sure that's how I would feel if I had kids too. But Casey has done some really like innovative ways of covering her kid's face. So there's a book, a really amazing copy of Nancy Drew, and yeah, it's just amazing. She's done such a good job of showing off the details of this sweater. So huge thank you to Casey. Casey is refusing to take any form of anything as a thank you, but despite her refusing profusely, I will still be sending a yarny gift card her way as a big thank you, because I'm very grateful. And the final thing about the Cargill Junior pattern is I really enjoyed that the Cargill cowl raised so much money for a special cause, and I'd like to be able to continue supporting causes with each pattern release. And I like the idea of I think every, I don't know, maybe every 6 months or every year I will do like a fully donation pattern similar to the Cargill cowl, but I still like to be able to continue giving. And for the Cargill Junior, 20% of the proceeds of the sweater will go to a company called it's called Sanku, and they run a program called Project Healthy Children. I'll also include them down below. You can have a look at what they do and how they do it, but the sort of high level explanation of what they do is that they fortify common foods in areas with high malnourishment rates with key minerals and vitamins. So they work with small scale mills almost exclusively across Africa to fortify the flour, so that when that flour is then consumed, it contains more micronutrients and therefore leads to less malnourishment. So it's a really small scale, it's a really what's the word? It's not small scale. I mean, it is small scale. The way they do it, they work with really small mills, but it's a very small thing they can do that has a really big impact. I think there's something awful like 8,000 children across Africa die every day of malnourishment. And sorry, not across Africa, globally, of malnourishment. And that's something that's really preventable. And this is a charity which is working to prevent that. So I'm really excited to be able to do that. Similar to the way the cowl worked, 20% of all the proceeds for the first month will go to Sanku, which will be until, what's today? Today's the 15th, so until the 16th of January, all proceeds will go to Sanku. So if you want to read more about it, you can down below, but I just like the idea of releasing a children's pattern and supporting a charity that is all about, yeah, protecting healthy children and supporting child welfare. And yeah, so not only can you get a cute pattern, you can also have some of your money donated to a good cause. And of course, in January, I will update on how much has been raised and how much I was able to donate. So the Cargill Junior is live. You can click down below to Ravelry. It'll take a few days to get onto Lovecrafts, which is the non-Ravelry platform that I use. And yeah, go and have fun and knit them. They're so cute. They knit up so quickly. My sample was done in like 4 days, and that was the smallest size. So I'm almost looking forward to people that I know having kids so that I can send them some cute sweaters. So if you're watching me, friends, and you have small children, or you don't yet, have some small kids so I can knit some baby Cargills and send them your way. So yeah, that's the Cargill Junior, now live. Okay, so the other thing of mine, which has been getting a lot of love, is my new design. It is the Lanark sweater, which the test recall is coming in a week, which means I need to get finished for the sample. I'm not far from finishing, but let me show you what I have. I might see if I can try this on afterwards and give you a bit of a show of what it's like on. But I have been loving this. I'm so into this, and the more I knit on this stitch, the more I'm excited about wearing it. A bit of a reminder, I was sent this yarn. So it's gifted. It is in collaboration with Bare Naked Wools, which is a yarn company out of Ohio in the States. This is their Kent DK in the colourway Kelp, and they said to me with the intention of me designing a sweater out of it, which I've done and which I am just really into. So it's called the Lanark Sweater, named by a viewer, and I will be, yeah, it'll be my last winter release, and probably, like I think I said before, take a little break from designing after this one. I've got some stuff, like some things already churning in my brain. I'm not sure what I'm doing with summer designs. I might, like, if something really strikes me, like if I get an idea, I might roll with it, but I'm not like planning out summer designs. So this will be the last design for the winter, and it's due for release right at the end of February. Now let me show it. Is this the right way around? Yeah. This is a top down zip sweater in all over half fisherman's rib, and it is amazing. Now I finished the sleeve, however, oh, my yarn's coming out. There are two things. Firstly, I made a mistake, so I'm going to go back and fix it. And secondly, I tried it on and my sleeve's a tiny bit too short. So I'm going to go back. It's actually funny because I shortened it. Like, the pattern's already been sent to get tech edited. Once I've done the yoke and the sleeve, and like the sleeve decreases, the rest of it can be quite easily tech edited and like graded and things. So that was really easy. But just things like the body size and stuff you can adjust really easily, but the yoke numbers and like the sleeve numbers and the sleeve decreases, they take a bit more like math to work through. So as soon as I got a sleeve done, in fact as soon as I was like halfway through the sleeve, I sent it off to my grader and tech editor. That being said, the number I put in the pattern is not the number I followed for my sleeve, and I don't know why. I don't know, I just was being stupid, and I've measured this and it's not the size I want it to be. Unsurprisingly. So I will rip it back and just add an extra 5 centimeters. I did do a sewn bind off, and just like, can we just talk about that? The way that this, I don't know if anyone else geeks out about this as much as I do, but the way that the half fisherman's rib flows into the regular rib, flows into the tubular bind off, I just think is like luxury. This has been a real, like, it feels like a real elevated pattern. It feels like a really polished thing to knit and to wear, and I've just been loving it. I really enjoyed knitting this and really enjoyed designing it. There are so many really nice little details that have just come organically, which I'm really into. So yeah, I'm going to rip back the sleeves. I'm actually going to cut off the tubular bind off because I think I've got enough yarn. Like, I'm not too tight for yarn, and also I don't want to unpick a tubular bind off. So I'll just do that and then add an extra 5 centimeters. I've got this folded neckline then, and you can kind of see where it's at. It's looking kind of small, but it is, as I said, half fisherman's rib, so this will block out like quite dramatically. This is going to be 117 centimeters, I think, finished bust, which will be perfect for me, which will give me about 10 to 12 centimeters of ease over the bust, which I'm looking forward to. It's kind of the length my cropped sweaters normally are, but again, it's going to be a bit longer length because I think it's a sort of like outdoorsy sweater that you would wear. And so the body is almost finished. We're leaving tomorrow to go down to London to see some friends, and I was really hoping to have the body finished before we left, so that I could block the body and the sleeve, so that when I came back, I could do the zipper and the facing, which will go, the zip and the facing, those blue stitches, there's some blue waste yarn in there, that'll be the facing, and then the zip will go down the front. And I wanted to like get that sewn in and like not have to stress about that and have lots of time to do it, and then just do the second sleeve. I can do a test call without the second sleeve being done. Ideally, I'd like to do the test call with both sleeves, but it would also mean that like if next week was busy, I don't need to worry too much about it, but I will need to block this before I do the test call because I think the blocking will change the shape quite a lot, and of course I want to have the zip in and I have to do the blocking before the zip. So yeah, I really want to have this finished before we left tomorrow, and it's not going to happen, and I'm trying to decide if I should take it with us or not. It's a bulky project and we're not taking very much stuff, so part of me, talk about hiccups, part of me thought about taking just smaller projects, but now that I'm so close, I'm considering just taking this. I think I could pretty much finish the sleeves. I could finish the whole thing, I think, if I take it with us this weekend, and that is appealing. So we'll see. So a few things to show. I'll show this accessory again in a minute. I have my zip, but it's quite heavy, so I'm going to try it with this and see what I think. I picked this one because it's got a really nice like industrial zipper pull, and it's a pretty perfect match. But yeah, the zipper pull is heavy, and it is a really lightweight sweater because it's, what's the word? Woolen spun? Is that the right? I'm pretty sure it's woolen spun. That's the right word. I always get confused between woolen spun and worsted spun, but it's the one that's very light and airy. I have used, now let's see, I've got this much left of, I've got a fourth, well, I've got them balled up, but each skein that I've used was 4 ounces, which is 113 grams. And so I have got almost 2, I've used pretty much 3, just over 3 I think. Yeah, because I've got this much here. I joined a fresh ball for the sleeve, of which I got about 40 grams left. I'd say this is maybe 30 grams. And then I've still got a full one left, and I think I will finish the body with this. I'm pretty confident I will. And I'll have to crack into the final one for the second sleeve, I think, but I reckon it will be about 4.5 skeins worth. What's quite cool about this yarn is that they sell them in half skeins. So they sell 4 ounce skeins or 2 ounce skeins, which means you could buy almost like a perfect amount. It's a pricier yarn. I was on the fence last time about whether or not I'm going to buy myself another sweater quantity of this, and I am. I've decided I'm doing it. I really want like a cream version of this. I can't wait. And so I'm going to make a cream version, but I've not ordered the yarn yet. So yeah, I feel like I'm not doing a very good job of showing it off, but you can see it's going to be this like oversized, super soft, kind of boxy sweater with lots of ease, lots of texture, a really good transitional piece, like cozy in places like it's like double folded on things like the collar where it's nice and cozy, but because it's such a lightweight yarn, it'll really, like, it's not heavy to wear. So it's not, I got some like chunkier sweaters that I only wear in winter, and this will not be one of them. So yeah, I am convinced that when my mum sees this, she's going to want one. I think it's going to be like a dog walking sweater for her. She'd love it. And yeah, so that is it so far. I mentioned last podcast, I feel like I'm doing a really bad job of showing this. Maybe I can put some b-roll of what the sweater looks like. I mentioned last podcast I'm knitting this inside out. That is because the half fisherman's rib, which is what the outside of this texture is, there, is knit usually by knitting into the stitch below, and the inside texture is half brioche, which is made using yarn overs and like brioche pearls. And my pearl tension is a lot looser than my knit tension, and I tried at first just working it with my loose tension, or like trying to tighten my tension up, and it was just looking really messy, and I wasn't enjoying it. Like, it felt like a lot of tension in my hands. So I flipped it inside out, and this way I do a purl two together every second round. Otherwise I'm doing a purl, like a slip one yarn over, and it's really just made my tension really, really even, which I'm just super impressed with, to be honest. So you can see that between this bit was knitted flat, this bit has been a little bit steam blocked. Through to here, there's not a massive difference in tension, which is really nice. So yeah, that's a Lanark. I'm really proud of it. And oh my goodness, next episode I should be wearing this to do the tester call, or at least have it in a state where I can, maybe I might not have 2 sleeves, maybe I'll have to come on the show on my next episode with like 1 arm and show you, because I only have 1 sleeve done. The more I'm talking about this, the more I feel like I'm taking this with us this weekend, but let's see how my space looks in my bag. The other thing then I want to talk about is the bag that I'm currently holding this in, and that is my brand new bag from Petite. I got a Petite knit bucket bag a while ago. I've got the blue flowery one and I love it so much. It's my favourite bag. So when she came up with a new line, I hands down bought a new one because I just really love the first one. I use it a lot. I have some bags, like I don't buy loads and loads of bags, but I do have quite a few. But these ones are my favourite, and I'm pretty sure anytime she brings out one of this style, I will strongly consider it. And it's this one. It is the plaid one. So I love it because this kind of colour is almost the same as the colour of my sweater. So it really felt like a perfect fit. But yeah, this is big. This is a lot to take on. We're going on a train. We're only taking backpacks, so this is a lot of knitting to take if I'm taking a train. I'm going to do some packing tonight and decide if it fits. We will see. But yeah, that is my Lanark sweater. Test call coming scarily soon. Okay, let's talk about Advent. And I'm not very happy. And I think I'm just being a bit sassy, like I think it's just on me, but I'm just a bit grumpy with where it's turned out, and I'm gonna sort of vent about it a little bit, which I don't know if that's a good thing to do, but that's what I'm gonna do anyway. So you might remember I'm knitting an Advent blanket this year. I have a couple of Advents, and I'm only talking about my Advent from my recycled yarn Advent. I have been otherwise receiving some very, very cute little mini skeins from Sarah Crean Knits, and this is going to be a pair of socks for me. Look at those. So that's great. Like they're getting open every day. Happy as Larry. But my recycled Advent is taking a bit of a turn, and part of it is my own fault, and part of it I think is the pushing together of the calendar. Let's put it that way. So it is a recycled yarn Advent. Real tangle here, sorry. What's going on? Oh, there we go. It is from a UK shop called Alternative Knit Universe, and it's a really, really cool concept. So they receive a lot of cones of yarn of all different fibres, and they turn them into an advent calendar by winding up skeins into like different marled balls, like little 10-gram marled balls. And I was having so much fun with it, and I still am having fun with it, but this week we've run into a couple of hiccups. So let me show you where we're at, and then I'll go through the hiccups one by one. So this is where we are. So I started down here, and I think since last time I added like the sort of bottom purple, that middle purple, the other purple, and then there's like blue, white, and we're now into the yellow. Now I am also aware the light is going, and I'm not going to be able to show these colours off very well, but that's where we're at. And I've just done like 1 or 2 rounds of this like marled black and white one that's coming now. So I had been to my parents, that was I think the last video, or just come back from meeting my parents, and I had to catch up on the purples because I had left I'm holding it together with some Woolyknit white, and I'd left this here and it wasn't my parents, so I had to come back, get some more of that yarn and continue. So I caught up. Well, no, I didn't actually catch up, but I was catching up. But I was still opening my skein every single day. And so I got to here, actually, I got to this purple, and then I opened the next one. And the colour here is like an icy white. So you can see that the colour I'm using is like a yellow white. This is an icy white. And I can't remember exactly the colours they came in, but ultimately like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday were all different shades of white. So there was the icy white there, and then these are the other three. So there's like a true white, a yellow white, and a cream. And I was just a bit put off because, I mean, this one's why it's my fault. So I'm very, oh, what's in that? So I guess like if you weren't using white as a background colour, this probably wouldn't be such a problem. But they are all very similar. And then I think it was like white and then the blue white. So the one I've chosen to put in was in the middle. And I chose to put that one in because I thought it was still like enough contrast in the blanket. Like it's low contrast, but you can see that there are 4 stripes there, which are a different colour to these. But that yellow is the same colour as I've chosen, and this one is like not far off. And then I could have put the bright white in, but I thought this one looked better than the purple. So I was really on the fence, and I was like, what do I want to do? Because I think my blanket's not going to be huge to start with. But then I was like, if I'm taking out 3 days worth of colours, I think I calculated that I can, like, with a bit of blocking, I can make each one, I think, about 6 centimetres. I think that's about right. So I think it's about 6 centimetres of colour. So if I take this out, that's going to be a lot of colour, 18 centimetres. That's right, yeah. 6 each day, 3 days. So that's like almost 20 centimetres less blanket. So I was like, oh, okay. But I was really on the fence, and I was like, you know what, just take them out because I'm really not like I don't want these in the blanket. It's going to be this weird low contrast middle section, and also it's not even bang on the middle. So if it was bang in the middle, like if the middle days, if it was like 13, 14, 15 days, is that even halfway? I can't remember, it's not halfway, but it wasn't even the middle days. So then I was like, okay, take them out. So I've taken these out, and that I think frustrated me because I don't also know what I'm going to use these for now that I'm not putting them in the blanket. But that is not the fault of the calendar, that is me because I chose to use this white. And I think that's always going to happen when you choose a colour to hold your yarn with. You're always going to risk that it doesn't go with the rest of the colours. That being said, I like what we have so far. And this is us with, how many colours have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's just started on number 11. So we're just over halfway. If I take out, is that right? There are 24 days. I take out 3, 21. Yeah, so I'm just over halfway. And then this is pretty wide, but this will also, like, it goes to here, but with blocking, this will be like probably out to here. So it's not an unreasonable size blanket. And it has been like 2 hours of knitting every single day. So then I opened today's or yesterday's, and I was like a bit relieved because at least there was now, we were getting out of the pure white, and you can see there's this like marled black colour. So that's the one I've started. It's still very, very low contrast, but it's something different. So I was like, okay, we must be getting to a colour based on the inspiration screens. I was like, it's gonna be blue. We're gonna move into teal. That's why I opened this one yesterday. And then today I opened the next one, and the next one is exactly the same. It's 100% the same colour. So I have 2 days the same. And so I know that Naomi of NG Knit also has this calendar. So I said, we've been back and forth about this every day because she's doing socks and we'd be like, oh, what's coming next? And so I messaged her and I was like, do you have the same thing? Because I've got the same thing. And she was like, no, I don't have the same thing. And she showed me how hers is, and hers is like moved into like a teal blue. And I've opened my tomorrow because I was just want to know what my tomorrow is because I was in a bad mood, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna look at it then. So I did. And I think my tomorrow is closer to what she has today, but I still think there's a colour missing because my tomorrow looks like a much richer blue and hers is like a middle, like icy blue, which also means that going from this to my now tomorrow colour is going to be a big jump because that middle colour that's meant to fade into it is missing. And I've got 2 of these instead. And then I got a message from someone else who I think I don't know if they know from the podcast or if they know from Instagram, but they've also got the same calendar, and they're like, hey, do you have the same colour today? And I was like, I do have the same colour today, but not everyone does. So I guess it's just been a mix up, and some people have got the same day twice. And I'm one of those people. So I think I wouldn't mind like this if I wasn't also annoyed about the white, but a combination of the whites, like the 4 days of white, and then the double, and even like we're talking 4 very similar colours, but the 4 days of this and then 2 of these just set me over the edge. I was just in a bad mood. So now I've not decided what to do with the rest of the advent. I mean, I'll keep going with it. Yes, Sam?
Sorry, Maxie, I thought you were on a work call, not a big.
So I need to decide what to do. I mean, I'm going to keep going because I've got this yarn. I'm not using it for anything else. But I have to think about what to do if I think that it's going to be really small. It might just be some very aggressive blocking, because this now is like halfway, right? Now I'm saying 21 colours. Yeah, so this is pretty much going to be halfway to the blanket, just over halfway to the blanket. So we'll see. I might love it again in the end. I went through like a love-hate relationship with the reds at the beginning, because I was like, oh, we really had 4 days of like, is this all going to be, when I had the 4 reds at the start, I was like, is this all going to be red? So maybe I'll get over it and I'll be okay. But for now I'm just a bit sad about my whites and my double colour. So we're moving into blue tomorrow, I know that much. And then we'll see what happens at the end. I've considered messaging the shop and asking like if they have extra, and I could always buy a second one and then fade the other way. But I don't think I want to do that much knitting on this. Like I don't think I've got the heart to knit the rest of the blanket that way. And also if I paid, then I would pay another, it was £40, which is very reasonably priced for what it is. But then if it was £80 and I was taking it, you know, another set of 3 colours, that would just feel like a lot of money on something which I'm not gonna, I don't know how I feel about it. So anyway, this is my slightly negative rant on my advent, which is partially my own fault for picking white as a background and partially like one little hiccup from the provider. That being said, it's looking cute. I just need to keep going. I've also never made a blanket before, so it'll be nice to have a blanket that I've made. It's making me want to cast on more blankets, which is nice. What it's also making me want to do is get an advent. So Charlotte, who is Nervous Fibre, she was one of my testers and models for the Care Sweater. She is a hand dyer based in Glasgow, and she is bringing out, well, she's already brought out the Sadvent, which is a January advent that runs up until what's traditionally Blue Monday, which is like the most depressing day of the year, which is one of the Mondays in January. And so I think it's 16 mini skeins, and I'm going to get one. So I can't remember what it's priced at, but it's obviously it's 16 skeins, so it's cheaper than a traditional advent would be. But I really enjoyed opening something every day, and I would like to work on something I'm looking forward to. And I think I'm going to work on a sweater, but I'm still TBD what that's going to be. That'll be coming around in January. So yeah, I'm liking the advent experience overall. I'm loving my minis I'm getting from Sarah. The sock colours are really like adding up now. I think, I should check, but I think all the rest of the minis are sock. But like, I'm gonna have such cute scrappy socks. Like look at these scraps that she's sent so far. They're so cute. So I'm gonna have fun with my socks as well. I'm just a little bit sad about my blanket, but I'll get over it. It's just an advent. Let's see what else I've been knitting. Okay, the very last thing is that we, as I said, are going away tomorrow. The day the video is going live, we're going away, and I need to pack some knitting, and I'm on the fence for what to take. So we will be going down south. We have a Friendsmas, which is spending the day with some of our friends who we'll be doing Secret Santa and Christmas with, and I'm really looking forward to it. I couldn't go last year because I had COVID. I got COVID like the most frustrating time last year. I was lucky enough that I cleared up in time for Christmas, but I missed Friendsmas, and I'm so looking forward to it. It's a pretty big group now, when it's my partner's friends from school, and there are 6 of them, and they've been friends since, for some of them, since they were born. Like some of them are in baby group together. But the group is now extended to include partners. So I think there's only going to be one person who they've got a new person in their life, but that they can't come. So I think there will be 11 of us there, which is a really nice size group. We are going to be doing cooking. We're staying at the parents' house of some friends, and that's where we're hosting. So we're staying at the place that it's all being hosted, and so we're cooking the vegan main, and I'm also chief potato responsible. So roast potatoes, and also I think I'm going to do some like, is it potato boulangère? Is that what they're called? Like dauphinoise but without the cream. And that's our job for the day. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, but I need to pack some knitting. So I've got 2 train journeys. We've got the train down tomorrow and the train back on Sunday. And then we've got quite a lot of steps, to be honest. We've got the train down tomorrow, we've got the train back on Sunday. We've got a few trains in between, and then we've got this like time that we're down there. So I reckon I need a reasonable amount of knitting. And my plan was to just take gift knits so that I can power through them. But this is calling my name. But if you see, this is a big bag. So I need to do some planning. I was thinking of taking my new bag. So I bought myself a bag from Mood. Mood make leather accessories. They make my needle cases, of which I've got 2. I got one in black and one in, I think it's called Whiskey, which is not focusing on. And I love these. I really, really, really like them. They're pricier, but there are some leather needle cases out there that are very expensive. And I think compared to those, Mood is really, really reasonable priced. You can tell I've got a lot of my needles right now because all my needles are missing from my case. But it's got like one side for this and then a pocket for cables and then a big zip in the middle. So what I've wanted for a while is a good size, like a nice bag to take places, which I can also fit knitting into, because I either take a big bag because we're going somewhere for a long time, or I just need my phone, my keys, and one project for knitting. And I always take a tote bag because I'm a tote bag gal. But I thought it'd be nice to have something a bit more formal. The plan actually was to take it when we went to the wedding. Like I wanted something that would go for that. However, I ordered a bag and it has ultimately turned out to be significantly larger than planned. So my hope was that there'd be a bag that my phone would fit into. Lots of thumbprints on my phone. And my keys, and then one project. And I thought this was the bag. But this is in fact a very large bag. It does, like obviously the measurements are on the screen when you order, but I thought that like this, my phone, this big pocket on the front, I thought would fit my phone. And you can see it fits my phone plus more. And then this main pocket fits so much yarn. I fit an entire 500-gram cone in here, plus some space to fill. So I'm thinking that this will be my project bag for taking away this weekend. I'd also ideally, I guess, like to take my iPad maybe not. I'm definitely taking a backpack that will have my clothes in it. So if I take my backpack and then just this for my projects, I could put everything else I need in my backpack, hopefully. So I need to have enough to fill this. Now this could be enough to fill. I could take this with me, or I could take my gift knits. Now my gift knits are currently a pair of socks. I'm such a chaotic mess. I've got a pair of socks here and I've got like a set of live stitches on one needle. I don't know where the other needle is. And I don't have a cable on it. Is it in there? I just took this out of a bag. I hope my needle's in here. It is. Okay. So I've got my needles. This is a Sunday sock by Petite in some Novita sock yarn. And I do have a cable for it. I just haven't put it back on the cable. And then I also have this little bag which has got some penny gloves. I finished one. And I've got one more on the needles. It's just started. And I would like to make one more pair for Christmas. Have I got that yarn here? No. I thought I brought it with me. Anyway, I've got this one started. It's light in my camera, not having a very fun time together. Doesn't really matter. It's a bit of stockinette. So I guess if I was being logical, I should just take these with me, because that would be a lot of knitting. I reckon I've got to get the other sock, like I've got to finish this sock, do a second sock, make my penny gloves, finish this Petite or penny gloves, cast on a second set. So I could just take these. Or I could take my sweater. My plan was that I was gonna pack this and like show it and have some cute like B-reel footage of like, you know, like B-roll, that's not the one, B-roll footage of me packing this bag up. But I can almost guarantee that I'm gonna be stress packing until we leave, or like I'll be stress packing tonight and then I'm gonna upload this video overnight tonight. So I'm probably not gonna have footage of what I've actually taken. My plan is the following. I am going to finish, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pack the rest of my bag. I'm gonna see how much space I've got in the rest of my bag. If everything else fits, like my Secret Santa gift, my iPad, my chargers, like all my other like extra bits that aren't clothes, if they're all fitting and there's space, there's room to spare, then I think I'll chuck one of these projects in that bag and I'll take this with me. If I'm running low on space, then my sweater will be staying here. That's okay, I will finish it next week. I've got like knit night on Monday, it's a whole night of knitting. I can get it finished, and I'll just take my gift knits. And I might put a bag on and put my knitting in here and then like do some walking around the flat to see, am I gonna get across London with all my bags without feeling uncomfortable? That is my test. I would say I'll update you on what I decide to do, but I will almost definitely forget to do so, but that's okay. If I have finished gift knits, that's the thing, if I don't take these now, will I finish these gift knits for holiday? Probably not. So I should take these because then my friends and family will get gift knits. The knitter's dilemma.
My friend, pick up some candy canes and hang a wreath on your door. It's Christmas, outside snow's glistening.